Welcome to Time Your Diary with me, Dina Carvalho from dinestro.com. And we are timing the week of January 26, 2026. And as usual, we draw our horizon line where we stand on top of it with our little hat and we observe the skies around us. And because we know that it is January, the end of January, which means we've started already in the month of February, where the sun is in Aquarius directly above head, because that's usually when we do our business. We don't do business when the sun is at midnight. And the key is today it is first quarter moon. So the moon is over here on the east. You can see her rise at sunset, and she represents things are true, things are stable. So that would be for January 26 and 27 in 2026. Your activity here is linked to August the 1st and November the 12th, 2025. So what were you, in these 2 days, what were you doing here? You see an outcome here. And the relevance for this is that whatever you're doing January 26 and 27, things are true. You see the outcome in May 2026. So the action for today sees action in May 2026 when Mars goes there. And the other day that we can look at significant for this week would be January the 28th and 29. Here you split things in two. Try and end things from December the 5th. End them. This is the time for ending these. And there's a duality, a split or two of them. And then we also have January the 30 and 31. Here we have agreement, routines, running around, maybe do some shopping. This is a good time for things are true. So if you do want to do shopping, that's a good time. Look for agreement. And it's linked to January the 3rd. 2026. So what were you doing January the 3rd? There's a return here, and you'll see the outcome of that, the fruition in September 2026. See, things have long-term consequences or short-term consequences. And finally, we have the opposition to the sun over here. Opposite is the full moon, which is drawn by a full circle. So that would be full moon on February the 1st. That's on Sunday. So you can see it rising in the east as the sun sets in the west. The full moon rises in the east. You can see him. You can see him there. And that focus on relationships here. But I'll cover this for next week. Now, the other thing I want to show you, the interesting thing about this week, is that Neptune enters into Aries. That is a very significant astrological event. It's rare. And let me show you. Here we are. So we are in January 2026. And here we have Saturn and here we have Neptune. So if we want to trace these, you can see that Saturn is at the end of Pisces and so is Neptune, 26, 29 degrees. But as we go down, January, around the 27th, you can see that Neptune enters into Aries. And he has a long-term cycle, because you can see 2026 is in Aries, and when we go to 2020, let's go 2020, here we are, 2036, he's still in Aries. It's a long-term cycle. And what that represents is a engulfment, a control, constraints, because Saturn rules restraints, Neptune rules riches. So there's a engulfment of wealth acquisition, and that would be, for example, US acquisition of Greenland and of Ukraine minerals. You also have a focus on oil, the control of oil. You can see that Saturn engulfs oil, becomes a control. And he has a cycle of 36 years. So when we want to go back to, let me go back to 1990. Here we go. Look at 1990. You can see Saturn together with Neptune together. It could be 1990. It's also probably 90. Here we go, 91 as well. they're together. Saturn and Neptune are together. And what happened then was we had the Iraq-Kuwait conflict over oil once again, and that comes now a return here, which with America, US, and Iran. Now, if you want to time this, we can see that it's already starting because Neptune enters Aries, Saturn's right there, so they're going to conjunct. You can see in February they come there. Saturn and Neptune are together. But the timing for that will be in April. Why? Well, you can see some happenings there in March because of the sun. So the sun highlighting the Saturn and Neptune here when the sun enters in Aries. But the key will be in April 2026. And then that when Mars joins into Aries, so you have the two outer planets plus Mars, quite a planet of weight. Showing a confrontation sometime middle of April, and that's how we time it. If you want to know more, you can visit, let me get my right pen, www.dinastro.com. See you then.